Hey guys, welcome to the stream space, or welcome back if you've been here before. We are back with a gaming pickup video. This is technically the first of actually 4 episodes that we'll be filming back to back, just because we've been so busy with our new IT business. So it's been a pretty crazy last couple of weeks. We even do game console repairs, so it's been pretty fun. So we've got a nice stack of games that we're gonna show you guys, and we'll talk about them a bit. Um, kind of good to be back. Been dealing with some personal stuff too, so let's see if we could just get into it, and then we'll see if we can find our groove for this again. So first up that I'm gonna do, it's kind of like it's more of an honorable mention because I didn't even go looking for this, but I had to buy a console bundle for a client. They were looking for a Nintendo Switch. They didn't care about a Pro controller, but they wanted to at least have fully functioning Joy Cons and all that. So what they did is, they sent me hunting for it. And it originally started with their Switch having an orange screen of death, which is fixable, and I know which part is fixing it, but they opted to replace, and so we were left with some of the bundle items because they just didn't care about them. So we got a Smash Bros. Nintendo Switch Pro controller. It's got the Smash symbol on there, and I think that I now see why Smash are, I should say, Pro controllers are so sought after. They look so nice, and they feel the rubber grips are just, God, very well done, very well done. Good feel to it. We have our Switch 2 running in the background. So first couple of games we're actually going to show you are digital because I know I'm not big on buying digital games, but I do own Leaf Green in physical. So like I just wanted something to play on a modern console, especially with Pokemon Home support coming. It'll allow me to finish the living Pokedex for the first generation. So we've used Pokemon Let's Go Eevee and Let's Go Pikachu to build most of that Pokedex because it's a little bit easier in those games because you can catch the beginners, for example. Um, and the only thing we're going to be using Leaf Green and Fire Red for really is the fossil Pokemon. So collecting Kabuto and Ammonite. We're going to we already have Kabutops and Amistar. We already have them. So gonna get the rest of them from the other game. And we already caught the legendaries. We even have Mew through the Pokeball Plus. So like we're almost done. We'll show you guys that when we complete that. So it'd be kind of fun to do a little bit of a session to just stream our current progress. I mean, we have to get our Switch dock for our Switch 1 put here as well, because right now we only have the Switch 2 dock. That, or I have to transfer my save file completely off of my Switch OLED, and I don't want to do that. I don't want to move the file around too much, because if I lose those Pokemon, I do not want to play that game again. The Elite Four in Let's Go Eevee drove me mental. I had such a hard time with them. And I don't know. I had a fairly balanced team. It was multi-type. I didn't even bother with Eevee for the most part. I did catch a different Eevee and turned it into a Jolteon, and that one actually turned out to be kind of like my trump card for the entire Elite Four. Like for some reason, he just was just wiping the floor with so many different of their Pokemon. So, anyways, yeah, the first mention obviously is our Smash Bros. Pro controller. We're gonna switch to a view so you guys can see the Switch 2. Switch 2, haha. This is our Pokemon team for Fire Red and Leaf Green. I'm gonna hit the home key here so we go to the main menu. We've been playing Pokemon on here and a little bit of Fortnite. We might actually go over the Battle Pass before that season comes to an end, just because we've been neglecting our stream. We haven't done our proper Battle Pass reviews. So let's. So yeah, we got Fire Red and Leaf Green. I've been mainly playing Fire Red, but I was gonna do a stream for Leaf Green with you guys, and that's my favorite version of the game, just because Bulbasaur is my favorite Pokemon. He is number one, literally. So anyways, that's obviously the first three things. There's not much to show on those. There's no box or anything, but I was glad when Nintendo announced that we were going to get a chance to actually own these, as opposed to just being a Nintendo Switch Online, which we do have Switch Online. We can play the GameCube Pokemon games, but I would much rather play them on their native platform. Or if I'm going to be forced to do it any other way, I'll play it on emulator and I'll still own the game. I just won't put wear and tear on the game. We actually have been working on mastering emulation on Android and PC platforms. Is it dead? It's dead. We have a Retroid Pocket. This was another gaming pickup. We have a Retroid Pocket, and this thing has like actual like Hall effect triggers, and it's got Hall effect sticks and everything. And I mean, I've been able to play basically whatever I want on this up until the kind of PS2, Xbox, and GameCube era, as well as any Android games I want to throw on it, like Call of Duty Mobile and stuff like that. They actually work on it just fine. Solid little system. I recommend. There's newer ones like the 6, or Ein makes something called a Thor, and that one looks cool because it looks like a Nintendo DS, but it's ridiculously high quality. It's just too bad that their shipping times are like months, not weeks. So the next mention is going to be this. This is the 007 First Light DualSense controller. You'll see that it's open. That's because we actually did an unboxing video on it that we've already launched. So go check that out if you want to get a really, really good look at the controller. It's just a standard DualSense with obviously a golden with a 007 skin on it, but it looks great and it performed just fine. I have no issues with it. Moving right on. Last piece of hardware I'll show you guys, and then we'll move on to actual, like, real games, is these lovely things. These are from Nixie, and if you know about Nixie, they make third-party Nintendo Switch controllers, and I think they might actually do controllers for the other brands, but mainly it's been Nintendo Switch, and they have given us a premium Nintendo Switch 2 third-party controller. I think it's missing the mouse feature and the gyro. I think those are the only two things it's missing. And they're not really mandatory features. So, I mean, I never really use either of them. And in fact, most cases I turn off the gyro because I find it distracting. So these are great. They have the same magnetic clip-on system. They can be charged. They're completely, capable of wireless. There is a joiner to go right in the middle. Oops, I just turned them on. This one's not turning. There we go. Now they're both on. I didn't mean to do that, but okay. They're both on. Woo. So, yeah, like these are a solid alternative to buying to a Nintendo Joy-Con. They are a little more expensive, but Hall effect everything, anti-drift, and they give your console a much better feel, right? Like it just is better to feel more like an Xbox controller than anything. Here's me saying I'm only going to show you one piece of hardware when in reality there is one more. This is from a company called Smatanu, and they're on Amazon. I feel like somebody just smashed their head into the keyboard and rolled across, and they're like, "That looks good," as they choosing the name for the actual company there. But anyways, kind of the same grade of controller as the Nixie one, but this is for just the normal Nintendo Switch. It has rails instead of the magnetic connectors. However, you can pair them to a Nintendo Switch 2 if you really want to, and there are grip adapters that will allow you to use them on the sides. You can get those grip adapters off of Amazon, and they allow normal Joy-Cons to run on the Switch 2 if you so choose. I personally don't use that because the Nixies are doing more than enough of that. So, yeah, it comes off. They're wireless. They are also... They might not turn on. Oh. Light up. It's really hard to show you the lights because of the saturation, but... Lights. God damn it. Anyways, rainbow lighting, or you can just do like standard white lighting, but they still look really cool. So, on to the games. Technically, we owned this before, but we didn't have a case for it. So what we really bought here was the case and not the game, and that is Pokemon Platinum. Considered the best Pokemon game from that era. It was one of the last times they did a third entry in a series. like in a generation. So we had, you know, red, blue, yellow. Technically, that was 4 games because if green had been released in North America, then it would have been red, blue, yellow, green. Which I mean, there's no reason to have that many of them. Then they did, you know, gold, silver, crystal, ruby, sapphire, emerald, then pearl, diamond, platinum. We'll go with platinum. Anyways, so that's one that we added to the collection because like we had a loose cartridge of it, and but the cartridge alone is $140. So I mean, I don't know why that one went up as much as it did, other than being rated as one of the better games in the series. I have not played those ones, but I did play a lot of Pearl. I played like 93 hours into it when it was first released. I had the International Pokedex. I have all the legendary dogs, birds, all the second gen legendaries. Um, like because it was that game was a complete Pokedex. The Pokemon, um, yeah, Pokemon Brilliant Diamond, or sorry, I say Brilliant because that's the newer game. But Pokemon Diamond and Pearl had a complete Pokedex up to that game. So, put that back where it lives normally. Okay, so moving right along here, we did a little bit of a run to a place called Level Up, and they're used game store. They sell peripherals, they sell games, they sell accessories and Pokemon cards and all kinds. It's a cool little place to check out every now and then. But we got Army of Two 40 Days. This is the sequel, and we actually recently obtained the Devil's Cartel, which is the next one in the series after this. And these games were just really fun couch co-op games, and it's just something I wish would come back. The aggro system was fun because your teammate could like get their attention and hold them, and you could flank while they were doing it, do stealth takedowns and stuff like that. It was fun, and it was, you know, balls to the walls insanity because you got to like just go crazy with how aggressive you could be, and then your teammate could either match that or be stealthy, and I thought that was really cool. My friend and I played the first one all the way through start to finish. So next is I'd say it's a pretty high end classic. We regard this series with a lot of, well, it's basically kind of like built in the almost like the Quake era of games where like everybody's like we can make a Quake type game. And so you got like even a Star Trek game that was very Quake like, and then you had actual Quake, but then you had Time Splitters, which is that, you know, frenetic kind of really rapid fire multiplayer type game. I believe that these ones had stories, and I have actually never played I have Time Splitters 1 and 2 and 3, but I've never played any of them to completion. So this could be something fun to explore as maybe one of our retro games after we finally finish Final Fantasy VII. Time Splitters. Yeah. So that was Time Splitters 3, Future Perfect. We have the other 2 games of this next one, so we wanted to add to it, even though it is not really the same kind of game as them. And that is Lord of the Rings, Fellowship of the Ring for the PlayStation 2. Once again, this is a level up pickup. So far, that's where these have all come from. And it's just, this one is a little closer to how, like, it's a little more animated. It is, you get to play as like some of the main different characters, and like it wasn't like the RPG beat 'em up that the second and third one had become. It had a different play style entirely, but it was still like, I mean, if I'm gonna have those ones, I might as well have this one. Then I can also say, you know, I got the whole trilogy, as it were. Even though Lord of the Rings Two Towers did actually cover stuff from the first one and the second one. Going way back onto the PlayStation 3 there. This is again another level up pickup, but this is Bladestorm. This is like a Dynasty Warriors clone. Technically, it's not even really a clone. It's made by the same people, but it was more of a medieval theme. Japanese medieval is almost what they were going for here, and it was one of the first games to come out for the PlayStation 3. I don't think it was quite a launch title, but it was very early in the life of that particular console. Next up, still on a level up binge, it seems. South Park: The Fractured Butthole. Okay. A turn-based RPG, basically, with superhero with their turn on superheroes, and it's gonna mock the entire superhero genre, and I'm actually kind of here for it. So this one actually got awards. Apparently, this one got IGN's Best RPG. Not that I take that very seriously, but Best of Show. And I've seen clips of it. It does look really funny. So South Park was a series that I didn't really get to watch as a kid. My mom went out of her way to prevent that. But what I did see, it was absolutely hilarious. I even got to see the movie in theaters when it first came out, like when it was actually doing its normal theatrical run. And if you know that part with Satan, you know what I perhaps had my eyes blinded to, because my mom was not ready for that. Breaking free from that, and it's more of a. I believe we ordered this off of Amazon. So, Pragmata. Yeah, I'm playing Dead Space, and it is a lot of fun, and you got to protect Diana at all costs. That's just how it be. Okay? And she's right about everything. The next one is a weird one. I was kind of exploring the idea of like trying out Mega Man games and Mega Man likes. So we have like 2099, like X 2099 for PC, or I think it's just 2099. We have that for PC. Um and then we have, I think it's like 20XX. I don't freaking know. It's on PC. We already have it. It's a Mega Man roguelike. Then we have Mighty Number 9, which is in almost every single way a Mega Man game except for the name. Because you even fight a number of robots to obtain their powers. So, and it's a side scroller. It plays the same way. There is some extra abilities that you have in terms of movement, but mostly not. Not out of the gate, anyways. So yeah, another Mega Man clone. I didn't realize it wasn't part of the Mega Man lineage, as it were, because I noticed it was made by Deep Silver, not Capcom. So okay, fine, I'll own that one. But not a bad little game, but I don't imagine it's going to take very long to beat. I was playing it, and it is actually quite easy. Not the same as how Mega Man typically played. So that kind of concludes this episode. As I mentioned, we're doing a couple back to back so we can get all caught up with you guys. But don't forget to like, follow, and subscribe so you can keep up with that list. So this is our first of 4 that will be filmed back to back. So they'll probably be all launched within the next couple days. Anyways, thanks for checking out the stream space. I'm Pydera. You can find me on YouTube, Pydera Space 74, or on Twitch, Pydera _74. And don't forget to like, follow, and subscribe so you can keep up with our content. We have a couple different other ways you can support the channel. First of which is our eBay page, which is ebay.ca/SV Retrotech, where we sell collectibles and gaming peripherals and just games in general. It's kind of a sub branch of the business I run here in Alberta. So, we try to put the games out there that are harder to find. I mean, maybe there's not a ton of super rares, but like obscure rares where they're only rare because they just didn't make a lot or didn't sell well. But stuff like that. So go feel free to check that out. We have our partnership with W.GG. Use creator code Pydera74 and you will get a 10% discount on your order. And it's actually now 20%. It's 20% discount on your order and we get 10% of that order. So everybody wins there. If you're all like, what do they do? They make energy drink mix, kind of like G Fuel, very similar. But I find that the flavors don't leave a weird taste in your mouth. They have a really good like zing to them. There is Dub Sludge, which is green apple. There's like a peaches and cream flavor. And then I think there's a couple other ones, like Galaxy Grenade is also a good one. But they have some really solid flavors, and I mean, you buy one tub and you make like 40 drinks out of it. And when we were moving, that was like the drink of choice, because like it gave you the boost you needed, gave you some vitamins, but it didn't make you feel jittery or anxious. So, lastly, of course, is the tipping link in our YouTube bio, which is through Streamlabs. So if you do put something on there, we'll make sure to give you a shout out and a say in some future content. So thanks for checking it out, guys, and I'll catch you guys next time.